Hi, welcome back to the continuation of the week 6 lecture about trigonometric identities. This time we are going to apply the concept of trigonometric identities in solving the value of an equation. So let's have, for example, if sine x is equal to negative 3/4 and cosine x is greater than 0, find cosine x. If you can still remember, in our third week or in our week 3 video lesson, we solve for this value using the concept of the equation of the circle, or the equation particularly of the unit circle, which is x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared, or equal to 1. But this time we're going to apply a trigonometric identity that atong masubstitutan ani nga value ni sin x in order to get the cosine x. So I already introduced to you some of the trigonometric identities, so mangita lang ka dito asa ang ma-apply. But so far, the most common is the usage of sine squared x plus cosine squared x is equal to 1. So now that sine x is given, it's easy for us to find now cosine x. So just manipulate the formula and we can obtain this cosine x is equal to the square root of 1 minus sine squared x. Just substitute then the values of sine x. So we have negative 3/4 squared. So we obtained cosine x is equal to square root of 7/16. But since 16 is a perfect square, so we have cosine x is equal to plus minus square root of 7/4. So there are two values of cosine x, but because of the condition cosine x must be greater than 0, so our final answer will be the positive of the cosine x, which is positive square root of 7/4. Okay, so be careful of the conditions and other given. But then we can also solve for this problem or alternatively using this equation: x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared, by determining the values of 3 and 4 as our y and r, knowing that our sine x is equal to y over r. But we are using trigonometric identities for this to solve this equation. Okay, so let's proceed to our second example. Find sine x if cosine x is equal to 3/5 and x is in quadrant of 4. So we are having sine x and cosine x again, so we're gonna use again the formula or the identity or the Pythagorean identity: sine squared x plus cosine squared x is equal to 1. So I will not elaborate further because it's just the same with our first example. So now let me take another value. Okay, so we have here, let's try to solve number 2. Secant x is equal to negative 8/3 and tangent x is greater than 0. So take note of the involving trigonometric identities or circular functions. We have tangent x and secant x. So let us check our lists of identities where we can see the tangent x and secant x in one identity. Okay, it's not here. How about here? Dili pod siya diri. Okay, we have here dili pod siya kay dapat nag-uban si tangent ug si secant. Okay, we found the right identity. So we have secant squared x is equal to 1 plus tangent squared x. So let's go back to our given. So ganito, kalimot na ko. So we have, okay, secant squared x is equal to 1 plus tangent squared x. Okay, so instead of using the Pythagorean identities, we can just use the Pythagorean identities that involves the sine and cosine function. Pwede gihapon to siya, but it will be complicated because imo pa ni siyang kwaon niya reciprocal. Then you will solve for the sine, and so on. So there are many ways to solve this equation. So mo gamit ng ating identity nga direct nga makasolve na sa iya. So we are looking for the tangent x. So in solving for the tangent x, we will just manipulate the equation or just substitute right away. So we have negative 8/3 squared, since it's secant squared x, equals, we will just minus 1, that will be equal to tangent squared x. Okay, and our 8/3 becomes 64/9. Okay, 64/9, and I will make it similar fraction with 64/9. So this will become 9/9, since 9/9 is still equal to 1. Okay, that's equal to tangent squared x. Okay, 64 minus 9 is equal to 55. So we have here 55/9 equals tangent squared x. Since we are only looking for tangent x, we will get its square root to cancel out the square. So we have plus minus square root of 55 all over 3 is equal to our tangent x. Okay, since we are having the restriction that tangent x must be greater than 0, so therefore our answer must be square root of the positive of the square root of 55 all over 3. So this is now our final answer. So I hope that you understand this video lesson and it helped you answer your activity. Thank you for watching, and see you on our next video lesson for the week 7 until week 9.